My name is Niklas. I'm the founder of Infinita VC, which is a venture capital fund, and I'm known for my work in network states and startup societies. Right, so I live in a place called Prospera, which is what you could call a startup society. So it's building a new kind of economy and society in a special economic zone. And I'm interested in how that can affect the development of technology and of humanity as a whole. And this is why I'm very interested in the formation of new societies, of governance, and economic and technological development.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm really curious to hear a little bit about the background there. Like, what is it that drives this passion for you, and where did it come from?
Yeah, it's always best to look back in hindsight. There was this Paul Graham once said, and I really love his essays, the president or founder of Y Combinator, that the best way to find what you're uniquely best suited for is to follow your innate curiosity. But it's one thing when you read it, you're not really sure what that means concretely. But something that he said is turning out in hindsight has led me there is really that I just read a lot, right? So since my early teenage years, I've been just reading a lot on all these questions. Like I've been just reading the whole thing, right? So all these authors that we all talk about, the classics like a Locke or a Rousseau or a Marx or John Stuart Mill, the whole philosophy, I just read all of it, right? And I was always confused why other people just care so little about it, at least, how what they precisely say instead of what they think they say. Then I also learned economics and found that really initially I was not liking it because it was just very technical and very rational and often just very boring, right? But then I understood once you figured out some of the math and some of the sort of get some of the nuance right, once you're able to use some of these concepts, then you really understand things that almost everyone does not get, right? Because when it comes to economics and how to develop kind of systems or civilizations that are very large, our intuitions fail us because we're made for tribes, right? So our intuitions evolve to understand the life in small tribes. But we're almost believing the opposite to be true or good public policy when it comes to large scale civilizations. And economics teaches us really the mechanisms how large scale civilizations can work. And that really fascinated me. But I never knew what to do with it in life, right? So I didn't want to be an academic that didn't feel like entrepreneurial enough. I always had like an itch to do things and to build things. Um, and I then started a career in startups and entrepreneurship. So that felt really fulfilling, sort of from a pacing perspective. Like this is how to get real things done. Like before, I was also in like think tanks and academia, as I said, and management consulting. But I always felt like we're just talking here, right? We were just producing hot air, but not like producing real things. So then learning about technology, entrepreneurship, and startups, I found really fulfilling, but it didn't yet fulfill me in terms of I want to solve these bigger issues, right? I want to solve these bigger problems and want to go on a really ambitious mission. So learning or finding out about startup societies that some of them already exist and there's something that I can concretely and practically working on, not just write like a dissertation or a book that no one's reading, but really practically, entrepreneurially finding solutions. That's what brought it all together for me. And that's what led me to where I am now.